The topic for today's video blog is, do people typically perform at the same level that they interview? Meaning, if somebody interviews well, you can count on them being a good performer, and if somebody interviews poorly, you can be sure that they're not going to be a good performer. Well, especially as it relates to sales positions, we typically think that somebody who interviews really well is going to be a good salesperson, because isn't the interview process very similar to the selling process? But anybody that's hired more than 3 salespeople has probably learned the hard way that not everybody performs as well as they interview. The reason is that the interviewing side of the selling process is really only one piece of a very complicated puzzle. And the interviewing process rewards the high extrovert behavioral style more than any other behavioral style. High extroverts are very good at connecting with people. They're social, they're friendly, they're personable, and especially when they feel that other people like them, they come alive. And so a positive interview with a high extrovert will yield you the perception that this person is really going to be good at the job because you like them and now they like you, and it becomes an ongoing love affair. But it doesn't always end well. Why? Because the selling process, in fact, is much more complicated than what's involved in 2 people connecting and liking each other. And really, the interview process is a very simple sales process. It's one buyer, it's one seller. The buyer wants to buy. You have a position that you want to fill. The seller doesn't need to overcome pricing objections because you're setting the price. So relative to a normal selling environment, it's very simple. And it's in the complexities and in the strategy is where this high extrovert sales candidate may fall down. They may not have the skills to be able to gather all the resources they need. They may not have the attention to detail. They may not have the persistence and the stick-to-itiveness to be successful in your sales environment. So don't get oversold just based on the presentation skills. Well, if there are some people that may interview better than they perform, are there other personality styles that may perform better than they interview? And the answer to that is yes. There are certain behavioral styles that are not as comfortable in the interviewing process, but can be very successful on a job, whether it's a sales job or a non-sales job. People that have extroversion as a lower trait and may have patience as a higher trait, or conformity, process orientation as a higher trait, may not give you that same warm and fuzzy feeling, but yet can be very, very effective in the job. So understand that first blush, first impression may give you positive feelings about certain behavioral types, but won't really give you the information that you need to know whether the person is going to be effective in doing the job. It's incumbent upon you to understand what your needs and what your requirements are, and to be able to separate out some of that personality nature to recognize, can this person really do the job that I need them to do? Thanks for your time.